Good morning, my dear students. My name is Anjaneya Sharma, working as physics lecturer in one of the reputed institution. Today our concept is about straight line motion. Okay, based on this straight line motion, you will be definitely given one question in the competitive exams. So most of the problems in straight line motion are connected with calculus process, that is mainly differentiation and integration. Okay, so if you know them thoroughly, easily you can solve any problem. Okay, so first we are going to know about differentiation or integration. So in order to know about these two, let us take some small examples. Okay, now there is one building. On the top of a building, a girl standing and counting the number of vehicles on the road. Okay, so whenever vehicles are moving slowly, she can count the number of vehicles, right? But whenever the number of vehicles on the road are moving very fast, right? When vehicles are moving very fast, she cannot count the number of vehicles. Why? Because you know, when all the vehicles were gone, within counting the number of vehicles, right? Because they are moving very fast, no? So that is why she is unable to count the number of vehicles, right? Now, just imagine that the surface, road is also started moving and vehicles are moving very fast. Then, you know, she is unable to count the number of vehicles. Why? Because vehicle number is changing at the same time, the area occupied by them is also changing, right? Now, we'll take another example, okay? A girl standing in front of a ripe fruits tree. She wants to count the ripe fruits on the tree. Okay. So she can count the number of fruits on the tree. Suppose if the tree is shaken vigorously, then you know some of the fruits are falling down from it. Okay. Just imagine that when some fruits are produced on the tree and some of them while the other fall under. Okay. That means the moment when she is going to count the fruits on the tree, by the time some of the fruits are falling down and some of them are produced on the tree, then it is a difficult task to her to count the fruits which are on the tree, right? Now, you take an example of a pot maker. So while he is making the pot, you know, its radius changes, thereby you know its volume also changes. So while he is making, if anybody asks us to find its volume, it is difficult, right? Next, suppose you take example of a woman weaving basket. So the moment when she is weaving the basket, you know, it is very difficult to know the total volume of it. Why? Because you know its radius is changing, followed by its volume also changing. Or you take another example, that is when you pour some soil into this glass. Okay, so you know the radius followed by its length, volume changes. So what do you notice from all these examples? So when you are going to measure a physical quantity, followed by it you need to measure some more quantities, but you know all the other quantities were also changing. Over here you see the number of vehicles, fruits number on the tree, volume, no? So whenever the quantities are changing while you are measuring, we need to apply a mathematical operation called differentiation or integration. That means you are going to first estimate the smallest possible one. Over here, how many number of vehicles that she can observe within small time. If you know this, so followed by it, you can find the total number of vehicles. In this case also, if she knows the number of fruits that are produced, minimum number of fruits that are produced, or minimum number of fruits that are falling down, okay, or the minimum area, minimum volume. So the smallest possible one, if you know, followed by it, you can know total. So this process you call differentiation. So whenever you know the smallest possible one, followed by it, you can estimate the total. Over here, smallest radius or else smallest volume. Okay, minimum number of fruits, minimum number of vehicles. So in this way, if you know, it is very easy to solve the problem. Okay, so sometimes the quantity will change with respect to time, with respect to mass, with respect to volume. It can be anything. Over here, the number of vehicles were changing with respect to time, right? Number of fruits changing with respect to time. Okay, in this way, one quantity changes with respect to another quantity. Okay, so if you know the smallest possible one followed by it, you can find the total. Okay, so this mathematical process we call differentiation. So we are using in the differentiation process only one formula, that is d by dx, means differentiating a function with respect to x, say distance, position. Say you have given x power n is a function, then that is equal to n into x power n minus 1. Okay, n power x distance. Or you can take with respect to time also. Okay, so instead of this you can make t also. Okay, now you are differentiating a function with respect to time. Okay, means the position of the vehicle. For example, you see this one. So when the vehicle is moving, followed by its velocity changes, acceleration changes, right? So all these possible measurements you are taking through differentiation process. Okay, now based upon this we are going to solve few number of problems also. Okay, watch till end so you can find solutions to all problems. So if it is t, you make this t, right? Okay, if it is r, you make this r. Based on the formula you can solve more number of problems. Okay, now we are going to solve first problem. So what is the given problem? You have given displacement of a body, no? That is x is equal to, okay, 3 minus 4t minus 5t square minus 6t cube. Okay, so the question is find initial velocity, okay, along the axis. So you already know that whenever you are differentiating with respect to time, okay, so whenever you differentiate displacement with respect to time, you get velocity, right? Velocity is equal to dx by dt, okay, which is equal to. So while differentiating, you need to remember only one important formula, that is d by dx of x power n is always equal to n into x power n minus 1, right? Suppose you are differentiating a constant, the next degree is 0 now, so 0 into x power 0 minus 1, nothing but 0. So remember, differentiating a constant always gives 0, okay, minus 4 into 1 now, power is 1, so 1 into t power 1 minus 1, right? So differentiation of t 1, okay, minus 5 into t square now, so it is nothing but 2 into t power 2 minus 1, okay, minus 6 into t cube, 3 into t power 3 minus 1, okay. Now v becomes 0 minus 4, okay, 10t 18 t square, okay. So this is the velocity, okay, after time t seconds, but you want initial velocity means starting velocity. So you must put t 0 now. So if you put t0, you get starting velocity. Okay, minus 4 minus 10 into 0. Okay, 0 square. So you get velocity equal to minus 4 meter per second. Okay, so this is the velocity taken in the negative direction. Okay, so in the same way we can complete the second problem also. Now we are going to solve second problem. In this problem you have given projectile motion, right? It's horizontal and vertical displacement you have given. Horizontal displacement x equal to 3t. Okay, and its vertical displacement also given. So you want to find net acceleration, or you can say acceleration due to gravity. How? Very simple. So whenever you differentiate displacement, you get velocity. Okay, so differentiating this, okay, with respect to time. Okay, so you can say dx by dt. Okay, so thereby you get velocity in x direction. So while you are differentiating, always the constants must be taken out. So in the previous problem, differential value of t is 1 now, so into 1. So this is velocity in x direction, but you want acceleration, so that is why it is to be differentiated again. Okay, so again differentiating with respect to t. Okay, so differentiating any constant always gives 0. That means acceleration in horizontal direction is 0. Okay, now about vertical displacement. So this is also differentiated in the same procedure. Okay, so you are differentiating this with respect to t, right? So you get dy by dt. Okay, so thereby you get velocity in y direction. While differentiating, always you take constants out. So differentiation of t1 now, minus 5 into t square. So it is 2 into t power 2 minus 1. So one formula to differentiate n into x power n minus 1. So this is velocity. You want to find acceleration now, so that is why again this is also differentiated, okay, with respect to time. So thereby you get acceleration in y direction. Okay, so differentiating of this constant, 0, right? So when you further simplify now, you get 10t. So 10 into differential value of t, 1. So a y and you also know ax. Therefore the net acceleration is root over ax square plus ay square, right? So ax you already know 0, okay, plus ay minus 10 whole square. Okay, so you get 10 units. Suppose these are given in meter, then this will be 10 meter per second square. Okay, so in this way we can easily solve the problem. Now let us come to third problem. Now we are going to solve third problem. So in this problem, displacement of a particle is given with respect to time, means how the particle is changing its position with respect to time. So given question is velocity. Okay, So you want to know about velocity of the particle. So according to problem, you know, root x is equal to, okay, t plus 3. So you know, whenever you want to find velocity, displacement must be differentiated once. Okay, so in order to know about velocity, squaring on both sides. Okay, so when you square on both sides now, you get x equal to, okay, t plus 3 whole square. So when you differentiate, you can find velocity. First we'll expand this. So t square plus 60 plus 9 now. So that is about displacement. Now you want to find velocity. So what we supposed to do? We are differentiating on both sides. Okay. With respect to time. That means you want to know its velocity, how it changes with respect to time. Okay. So dx by dt gives velocity, right? So you already know about differentiation process. So here power is 2 now, so 2 into, okay, t power 2 minus 1 plus 6 into differential value of t, you know, 1, and about constant 0, right? So thereby you can find velocity, okay, nothing but, you know, 2t plus 6. Okay, so you want to know velocity depends on time over here, because you know it is 2t plus some constant. So what is your question? Velocity of the particle is proportional to, you know, it is proportional to time. That means as you increase time, velocity of the particle will also increases. Or they may ask you to find what is the nature of the graph, v versus t. So you know it is in the form of straight line now, y equal to mx plus c. Suppose if they ask you to find v versus t graph, nothing but, you know, it is a straight line. Okay, so in this way we can continue the further problems also. Okay, now about fourth problem. So in this problem, displacement of a body is given and you want to find velocity in certain particular time, that is t equal to 2 seconds. This is displacement now, so unless you differentiate with respect to time, you will not get velocity. So what we supposed to do? It is to be differentiated once. So in this problem, displacement x is equal to, okay, 4t minus 5t square, okay, plus 3t cube minus t power 4. Okay, so you are differentiating with respect to time. Okay, nothing but, you know, dx by dt, which gives velocity now. So you already know about differentiation process, right? 4 into differential value of t 1, right, minus 5 t square 2t na plus 3 into t cube 3 t power 3 minus 1, okay, minus 4 into t power 4 minus 1. Okay, so you know velocity is equal to 4 minus 10t, okay, plus 9t square, right, minus 4t cube. But you want velocity after 2 seconds, so you have to put t 2 seconds now. Okay, so velocity after 2 seconds, 4 minus 10 into 2, okay, plus 9 into 2 square, 4 na, minus 2 cube 8. Okay, so 36 minus 32, right, 4. So 4 plus 4, 8. right? So 8 minus 20, nothing but minus 12 units. Because over here units are not mentioned. Suppose if it is given in meters, definitely it would be meter per second, right? So in this way easily we can solve more and more number of problems. We'll solve now the next coming problem. Now we are going to solve fifth problem. So in this problem we have given momentum of a body, that is P equal to alpha plus beta t square. So you want to find force acting on the body. So that is according to Newton's second law, we all know F equal to ma, right? So acceleration can be taken as dv by dt. Okay, so this m also can take inside now, then d by dt of mv means d by dt of momentum. That means whenever you differentiate momentum with respect to time, you get force. Okay, so in this case if you differentiate, right, with respect to time, okay, we get force. Okay, so dp by dt. So already you know about differentiation process. Whenever you are differentiating constant 0 na plus p beta into t square na to t power 2 minus 1. So this is force, no? Nothing but 2 beta t. So this is the force. Okay, force is given by 2 beta t. So very simple. Remember, whenever momentum is differentiated with respect to time, you get force. Okay, so in this way you can easily solve any problem.